For years they've told you, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But nobody told you the dangerous truth. Those 5 people are literally rewiring the limits of your brain right now, and you don't even realize it. And if you feel like you are constantly hitting a brick wall in life, the reason isn't laziness, lack of motivation, or lack of willpower like you thought. You make the same plans every year. You set new goals. You start out saying, this year is going to be the year. But a few months later, you find yourself exactly where you started. Procrastination. That vague, gnawing anxiety inside you. The constant feeling that something is missing. Now, let me tell you the uncomfortable truth. The problem isn't that you don't want it enough. The problem is the environment you are drowning in. Since we were kids, we were taught that willpower is everything. They said, grind it out and you'll succeed. They told us that only those who never quit make it to the top. But this is a flawed narrative sold to you by the system. You could be the most powerful seed in the world with massive potential. But if I plant you in toxic, rock-hard soil that never sees the sun, can you grow through sheer willpower? No. Most of the time, you won't even sprout. Because willpower is a myth. Environment beats willpower every single time. This isn't just some cheap self-help quote. This is hard neurology. The mirror neurons in your brain act like sponges. Spend enough time with certain people, and you don't just copy their mannerisms. You copy their fears, their excuses, their lack of vision, and their standards. This isn't a conscious choice. This is pure biology. If you walk into a freezing room, no matter how much you tell yourself, I won't get cold, your body temperature will drop. You cannot fight the laws of physics. Similarly, if you stay in a low-standard environment for a long time, your mental temperature will drop to match that mediocrity. Willpower is like your phone's battery. It starts at 100% in the morning, but by the end of the day, it drains. Environment, however, is like a river. It flows 24/7. It flows even while you sleep. And that river will eventually carve through the hardest rock on earth. Stop and be honest right now. Think about the 5 people you talk to the most, the ones you spend the most time with. Their income levels, their perspectives on life, their discipline, their complaint ratios, and most importantly, their vision. Add them all up and divide by 5. That is exactly where your life is trapped right now. If the people around you are satisfied with mediocrity, if they take 0 risks, if they constantly complain but never take action, it doesn't matter how big your goals are, that environment will pull you down like a crab mentality bucket. And the biggest tragedy here isn't a momentary failure. The real tragedy is your dreams shrinking slowly without you even noticing. Remember the first reaction you got when you shared a massive new goal. Was there genuine excitement in their eyes? Or was it a slightly cynical, condescending smirk that said, "Here we go again"? People might love you, but they don't necessarily want you to level up. Because as you grow, as you shine, their stagnation becomes glaringly obvious. And that makes them incredibly uncomfortable. That's why they unconsciously pull you back into the comfortable swamp. And they do it so politely. They say, don't overdo it, be realistic. Being this ambitious will burn you out. Poison doesn't always attack you openly. Most of the time, it wears the mask of a caring friend. You drink a sip of that poison every day, and one day you look in the mirror and say the most terrifying sentence, "I guess this is just who I am." That is the exact moment your environment has defeated your willpower. We are hypochondriacs about what we feed our bodies. We count calories, but we pay absolutely zero attention to what we feed our minds. The daily empty gossip, the repetitive complaints, the narrow, visionless perspectives, the fear-driven, paranoid comments. All of these are food for your brain. And if you consume this mental fast food every single day, your soul becomes obese and sluggish. The poverty here isn't a lack of money in your pocket, it's a poverty of ambition, a poverty of courage, a poverty of vision. The rule is dead simple. If you are the smartest, most visionary person in the room, you are absolutely in the wrong room. Sit at a table with 5 entrepreneurs and you will be the 6th. Walk with 5 disciplined people and you will be the 6th. Sit with 5 lazy, excuse-making people. I'm sorry, but you will absolutely be the 6th. The warmth and comfort zone provided by old friendships is sometimes the biggest trap blocking your true potential. This doesn't mean you have to throw away people you share memories with in a heartbeat. Loyalty is valuable, of course. You can inspire them, you can guide them. But insisting on staying in an environment that drags you down while you're trying to rise is the ultimate betrayal to your own potential. When a rocket breaches the atmosphere to reach space, it drops its fuel tanks behind. Not because those tanks are bad or useless, but because the rocket needs to shed that dead weight to go higher. Growth and leveling up inevitably bring a certain degree of loneliness. But remember, loneliness is not a punishment. Loneliness is that sacred space where you can finally hear your own inner voice once the loud, complaining noise of others goes silent. Now you have a very clear choice in front of you. An average life where you are liked by everyone, fit in with everyone, but drip with mediocrity, or the path of transformation where you risk temporary loneliness and being misunderstood to reach your true potential. If you don't have the people physically around you to pull you up right now, stop whining. In this era, you have no excuses. The smartest, most successful people in the world are sitting right in your pocket. Books, podcasts, online courses, YouTube. Spend just 1 hour a day with this curated content. Swap out at least a few members of your mental top 5 with these digital mentors. Their uncompromising standards of thought will slowly hack your brain. And after a while, your mind will change so much that you will physically start entering the rooms where those people are. At first, you won't feel like you belong. You will feel extremely uncomfortable. But know that this discomfort is the pain of growth. In time, their impossible standards will become your new normal. You don't have to wait 10 years to change your life. Just change who and what you spend your time with. That single decision will rewrite your thoughts, your actions, and your destiny. You are no longer the victim of that barren soil. You are the architect of your own life. Change the soil. Once you get into the right environment, you won't believe how wildly that seed inside you will grow. Because your life is not ordinary enough to quietly melt away inside the wrong village. Now I am asking you, which average are you currently trapped in? Have you noticed the first person holding you in that crab bucket, approaching you with a friend's mask, or your mental fast food habit? Go down to the comments and start that confrontation right now. I will read every single one. If you want to break out of this soul-fattening system and become part of a mental awakening, you are in the right place. This is Luminox Theory. Here, we turn off the lights to illuminate the dark psychological truths nobody wants to face. If you're ready to leave the wrong room, subscribe and turn on notifications. Until the next theory, remain the architect of your own soil. See you soon.